What's going on, y'all? I'm ForwardAssistance. I will be going over a little bit of a knowledge transfer when it comes to specific pieces of equipment, specifically pertaining to your noggin, protecting your head, your ears, as well as your eyes, your facial features. This isn't really going to be a how-to guide of how to set up your helmet a specific way. It's more so going to be a comparison and an analysis behind buying pieces of equipment versus using standard issue equipment. A little bit of background on me: active duty Army, been going on for 6 years. These are just things that I'm going to give you guys, pointers, tips that I've learned in my 6 years in the active service. Do's and don'ts with helmets. Bring right into my helmet. I have a Ops Core Fast SF. Nothing crazy, it's just specifically set up and tailored to my specific role and what I do. I'm not an operator. I never will claim to be an operator. Those guys are animals, and I am nothing of an animal at all. So in short, I have it set up a specific way. I have my Peltor Comtac 5s dual leads mounted onto the Ops Core arc rails. Just a quick way to have my ear pro affixed to my head and to protect my ears. It's a big thing, is protecting your ears. You don't want to be deaf when in the gunfight, as if it really matters, because ear pro doesn't really exist in a gunfight. But yeah, I have my Peltors mounted to my helmet just so I could quickly snap them on and protect my hearing. I think it's very important. Sometimes I've been caught without ear pro, shooting heavy machine guns, automatic weapons, things like that. And it's not a fun time. Tinnitus doesn't even account for VA disability anymore. So that's great. I'm happy to be deaf forever. Moving on to my mount. I have a Wilcox G24 mount for my nods. Ops Core does this great thing. I'm sure you've seen it 1,000 times on helmet setups, kit shakedowns, everything like that. Ops Core has built-in retention with these bungee straps. It's great for securing your nods to your dome, especially when you're running, gunning, jumping out of helicopters, and doing all the fun stuff that the Tier 1 operators get to do. I just have a bunch of Camo Works, Amazon fucking patches for the hook and loop sections of the helmet that I'm not using. I think it's pretty important to try and break up the silhouette as best as possible without a scrim. Moving on to my down lead retention. So I essentially bought some hockey stick tape, goon tape for the goblins out there, the gear goblins. And I just basically secured my wire that connects to my 2 earpieces to the top of my helmet using that. It's worked for me so far. I haven't had any issues. It hasn't come undone. A little bit of fraying at the end, but that's just a user issue. I haven't burnt the ends because it's dumb. Moving on to my Faro Concepts PVS 31 pouch with my morale patch on it. I have a PVS 31 battery in it just in case I actually am using nods and I need, power to be able to see the demons at the night. Attached to that, I have a Manta Strobe, IR capabilities, red light lens. Pretty standard. I like flashing the boys in blue when they're hovering over me and Apaches and stuff, letting them know that I'm there and you can't miss me. Moving on to the, I guess in this instance, my left, your right. I have an American IR flag patch and multicam just to match the aesthetic of the helmet. Really no use besides like PIDing in the middle of the night and cosmetic looks because it looks cool. On this side, I have my Blackbeard patch, standard, no quarters. People are gonna probably be in the comments and be like, oh, you're wannabe fog, blah, 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 blah. No.
It's very cool, very swaggy.
Attached to my Peltor adapters, I have a simple red lens that I got from a weapons cleaning kit from my old armorer. Shout out my old armorer. He's a goat. I didn't really feel the need to buy like a Princeton Tech. I like rail space. I utilize my rails very heavily, specifically on my weapons when I'm working. My rails are covered in standard Picatinny rail covers and grips and bipods and standard cool guy stuff that I had to buy after market because the Army doesn't want to issue it to the regular folk. So with that being said, this is where the knowledge transfer comes in, so it's time to get serious and not be so goofy. If you ever do get issued one of these helmets, it's pretty important to make sure that you fit it to your head properly. For me, I run my chin strap underneath my neck, or my chin rather. I run it underneath there because it's more comfortable I find it more comfortable, keeps the helmet on my head, keeps it from falling. I don't like it having it on my chin, and it prevents me from yelling or talking. Sometimes I'll just run it undone because my ear pro snaps onto my head and prevents my helmet from falling off. That's a big thing. It's not gonna look good when Sergeant Major is breathing down your neck and you don't have a Kevlar.
I was up on the 50 cal and the Humvee went over a berm, Sergeant Major.
That Kevlar wasn't yours, lose!
I run this a specific way. It's from years of understanding how gear works, what works, what doesn't, what works for me and what hasn't worked for me. I've gone through several iterations of helmets, specifically the ACH standard issue helmet in the United States Army. We've been issuing that helmet since like World War II, and I think conventional forces needs an upgrade. So every ops corps has a dial type retainer built in with these, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It just tightens on your head and it squeezes your brain. I think it's pretty important that when trying an ops corps or using any type of Team Wendy, Cayman, anything like that, that you consider swapping out your padding if the standard issue padding from the ops corps or Team Wendy's aren't comfortable for you. If you're wearing this for an extended period of time, it gets really heavy, hurts your neck after a long time, and it just sometimes just is a hassle to wear. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I haven't rode in Humvees without helmets or Chinooks without helmets or Blackhawks without helmets, because I definitely have done it multiple times. But if I was to wear a helmet during those times, I would hope it's one of these and not an ACH. The standard issue ACH in the Army just downright sucks. It's a good helmet in catching rounds and giving you full head protection. But to be honest, if I'm gonna get, shot in the head, the chances of me surviving are like 0. So I'd rather run something that's extremely comfortable and it's gonna perform just as good, if not better. You'll see a lot of guys running their high cut helmets with 1,000 attachments on it. Anything that they can get their hands on for these helmets, they will run it. I prefer it being tailored rather than being a gear junkie and a gear goblin having 1,000 things attached to my helmet. I think it's really, really important that you find the setup that suits you. I don't have this set up to be anything other than something that'll protect my ears, provide me light, and mount NVGs. It's basically what every helmet is for, minus the ACH. The ACH, like I said, sucks. The Army has made the new iHips helmet. I've used it once. It's not bad. It's definitely an upgrade from the ACH. Wider base for you to put ear pro on underneath the helmet. The ability to run Peltors and protect your earlobes is pretty important. Your eardrums are very sensitive. If you're just getting into the Army, you better hope to God that your supply has Peltors. I've seen guys run setups where they take a tourniquet and typically they'll have a cover on their helmet rather than just the base helmet, the way I have it. They'll have a cover of some sort on top of it, and it has a bunch of bungee retention across the top. A medic did tell me a long time ago, shout out that medic if you happen to watch this video for whatever reason. I doubt it, but if you do, great. On my previous iteration of this helmet, I had ran a cover, and it had, like I said, the bungee retention across the top all the way to the back to the battery pack. At the time, I wasn't running a battery. Basically had me mount my tourniquet like this in replace of the battery pack. And if I ever needed to use a tourniquet for whatever reason, I could easily just reach at the top of my head and rip it out. So if you're gonna be buying one of these for whatever reason, you should look at why you're buying it rather than it looks cool. If you're a hunter, you're riding bikes, you're getting out of vehicles, you're doing, construction work, your best option is probably the bump version of this helmet. Bumps are basically just a shell that prevents you from getting a concussion. They're great. My buddy runs one. He's in JSOC up in Germany. He runs one. He loves it. He says it's great. But I prefer something that'll stop bullets rather than, prevent me from getting a boo-boo on my dome piece because I got out of a Humvee too fast. I'm not a biker. I get out of Humvees pretty quick. But at the end of the day, I want something that's going to protect my dome. And what better option than ballistic? Team Wendy makes great helmets. Galvion makes great helmets. Ops Corps is the golden standard because it's issued to all the tier 1 units. Even the Marines get issued high cut helmets now. They sold all their tanks and stuff to get cool guy gear. Meanwhile, the Army's playing catch up. But yeah, guys, this has been Forward Assistance with a quick knowledge transfer. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, all that YouTuber jazz, all that dumb shit that they say or whatever. If you don't like the video, don't like the video. If you like the video, like the video. If you want to say something, then say something in the comments. That's fine. I'm not going to hold it against you. I really don't care. This is for the people who want to know what they should be getting into when it comes to buying ballistic protection. Appreciate y'all, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.